Good morning, Janice.
Good morning.
Let's talk today about 8 open house etiquette rules for home buyers. So you don't want to have bad manners or break rules of etiquette because doing this could cost you your dream home, right? First impressions matter. Yeah. Even in the setting of a home purchase, when you're meeting the sellers or maybe through their realtor, first impressions matter, and it can really impact whether or not your offer will be the one that's accepted. Yeah. So
I 100% agree with you.
So let's review 8 rules of etiquette for both city and suburban houses. So we'll do the thing where I'll take the city perspective, and Janice, if you'd be so kind to take the suburbs. All right. Number 1.
I'm on it. Yes.
Number 1, let's respect their time. When you have an open house, and by the way, we're talking about all these issues because it's springtime, and you know what? It's going to be that really, really crazy spring, summer open house season. So this is really good to refresh if you're about to hit those the open house circuit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's time. It's going to start happening.
All right. So let's respect their time. If the open house is listed for 2 to 3 p.m., that's when you should go. You don't want to be too early, and you don't want to be too late. Does that make sense, Janice?
Yes, and I think this applies not only to the suburbs and the city, but everywhere because, well, you have children, right?
Yep.
Have you ever tried to prepare a house with children for an open house?
No.
Okay, I have. And that 15 minutes means the difference between like doing it or not doing it. 15 minutes early, you could still be running out the door with everyone half dressed and doing the last minute of vacuuming.
Yep.
Yeah, so you really do need to be at that start time or just a minute later.
And you don't want to linger either. So if it's from 2 to 3 and it's 2:55, get out. Sorry to be blunt, but
get out.
The family's waiting to come back home.
Right. We're sitting in the van with the cats, the dogs, the kids over at the McDonald's, and we're done. Like, get out.
So I know a lot of folks think that lingering or staying long is an indication of their interest, and it's like, oh, I'll show the agent that I'm really interested by staying here like 10 minutes afterwards. No, you're just being rude. Leave. Yeah. Show your interest in other ways.
Yeah, call us.
Yeah,
give us
very
a call. Leave your info. Yeah.
All right, number 2, and this is very close to my heart because I am, as you can see, Asian and Korean. Be prepared to take off your shoes.
So do you take your shoes off in your house every day
100%.
Anyway?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also an issue. So it's not just a cultural thing, but there are houses that have like pearl white carpets or super, super expensive hardwood floors. There's a lot of reasons why don't expect to, clomp through somebody's house in your Timberlands, right?
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So what does that mean? Like, what do I mean by prepare to take off your shoes? Bring socks.
Right.
I don't know if maybe this is cultural, but I don't relish the idea of somebody's sweaty feet tramping through my house.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty bad. Right. I don't know the lesser of the evil, the dirty shoes or the sweaty feet.
Think of it like you're going to the airport and you have to do the TSA thing, right? You would wear socks if you got to walk through that area, right?
Oh, absolutely. I have worn flip-flops before, but I put socks in my pocket. So when I get up to there and they say, take your shoes off, I put my socks on.
So I think that's the best way to think it. Just pretend like you have to go through TSA.
Perfect. That is great.
I mean,
and a lot of the realtors, I'm sorry, the realtors, they'll have booties, like those little, look like hair nets you can put over your shoes. Ours had that. Yep.
Perfect. I mean, that's, and if you're I know some people have, odor issues with their feet or just maybe they're wearing shoes that are really difficult to get off and on. Just bring a pair of booties in your pocket. You can get them for like $1 at Walmart or Dwayne Reed or
the dollar store. Get creative.
Oh, I love the dollar store. Yeah.
Oh, me too. See, previous statement about kids, dollar store is amazing.
All right. Number 3, open house etiquette rules for home buyers. Ask before you open anything. What I mean by that, let's go down a list, Janice. Oh, here's how we'll do it. I'll go down a list and you tell me, should you open it or should you ask first or no? Okay, ready? We're going to do a list.
Okay.
Closet doors.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Want to see how big it is.
Okay. Kitchen cabinets.
Sure.
Dressers.
No. Why?
Yeah. Do you want to see somebody's underwear? I mean, what do you...
that's a whole other problem. But what would that show you about the house?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
You're just snooping. Yeah.
Right now, you're just being a little weird.
All right. Doors.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. You got to see if it squeaks, if it hangs well.
Behind door number 2.
Nightstands.
Oh, maybe even creepier than the dressers.
I think so. Wow. We must be dealing with a lot of creeps. All right. The dishwasher door.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. See, I'm kind of mixed on that one. Yes, you can, but I don't know why you would, because I know about me when it was open house, I threw everything in the dishwasher.
So, yeah, I agree with you. I don't want to see somebody's dirty dishes, but I do want to see the condition of the appliance if I'm going to buy it.
And
right?
that's true, yes.
Yeah. What about bath cabinets?
Oh, same thing. Yeah. I don't think you need to see their medications or whatever else. It's a built-in bath cabinet. I think you should know what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah, true. What about the fridge?
Yes. Yep. Same with the dishwasher.
Yeah, I feel like it's a slightly invasive to nose around their groceries, but I got to see what the condition of the appliance is.
That's true. That is very true. If it's gross and dirty and broken and
yeah, if it's molding, right?
Yeah.
What about the washer dryer doors?
Same thing with those, but be prepared. There might be wet laundry in there or not fresh laundry because again, previously with children, you shove everything where you can and you run.
What about the laundry hamper?
Oh, again, a little weird.
Can't think of any good reason why you need to see that. Yeah.
No. I guess as a general rule of thumb, if you can pick the whole apply or whatever it is up and take it out of the house, they're moving with it. Why do you need to see in there?
Actually, that works. That's a good rule.
Yeah. If you can pick it up, the nightstand, you can leave with it. You don't need to look in there.
But yeah, even for the ones that we said, just go ahead. Closets, cabinets, fridge, all those things. If you have any reason to hesitate, just ask. Broker will probably say yes. But, just ask. Yes. It's polite.
Always ask first. Yes.
All right. Number 4. The fourth etiquette rule for open houses for home buyers. Don't just take photos, right? A lot of people, I know we're in a social media, Instagram or IG, Snapchat. Am I missing any? I don't know.
I call it Insta-tweet because it drives my kids nuts. I mix names all together. But
nice.
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, that's the life that we live.
So I know people feel like it's socially acceptable at this point to just take pictures of whatever you feel like it. But there's privacy issues. You're in somebody's home, right?
Right.
I'm not sure that's appropriate. So just you can ask if you really have to, but I don't want people taking pictures of my house.
I don't know about. And you know what? People go through anymore a lot of trouble and expense to have professional photos taken. I mean, it's staged beautifully, and the photos online are what they would like to be out there. So if you're taking random pictures inside of their house and posting them, that negates all those beautiful photos that they've now prepared for. Because
you're probably a terrible. I mean, not you, Janice, but Joe Average is probably not. Yeah, your lighting is going to be off. Your exposure is going to just make what could be your beautiful living room look like a dank dungeon.
Correct.
Yeah.
Builders spend a lot of time taking professional photos to make it look the way it would make someone feel.
Correct.
So you take a phone photo and you've got just don't do it. Don't do it.
Now, most of these things that we're talking about, Janice, if you're the seller, your listing agent, the one who's hosting the open house, should be policing these things pretty rigorously. Yes. So you don't have to worry about it. But the point of this discussion is if you're the home buyer, don't put the realtor in a position where she has to scold you because that's not a great first impression.
No. And as the seller, you remember that because your realtor is going to talk to you and say, oh, so-and-so did so-and-so. And I can tell you, here's a funny story, not funny now, but we had 26 showings and 5 open houses. It was a brutal selling of our home. On the 4th open house, I think it was, our realtor, we at that point, we had a cat and we just couldn't take him any longer on the car rides. I mean, he was 26, that's a big number. But on the 4th open house, I think it was, we had somebody kick the cat who came out. Kick him. So, of course, yes, I am not kidding. Kicked the cat because it came out.
I'm not a pet person, but I'm not going to kick a cat.
No, I know people don't like cats. There were signs everywhere that there's one in the house. He might be roaming. He's friendly. Just leave him alone. Ignore him. Give him food, whatever. No. But the person actually came around and just kicked the cat. And I thought, well, when they reported back, I said, I don't care what what they come to us and say they could pay us double, we would never accept that offer. So, I mean, it's common courtesy and things you don't think of, but everything gets reported back.
Yeah. That's kind of disturbing. So, but I'm glad no big harm, no long-term harm.
Oh, shoot, no, he was fine. But it's just, you have to think about that. You may act like that in your home and be a complete whatever, but you're in somebody else's territory in their house.
All right, and we're going to move on to number 5. Just to be clear, that was not a listed item.
No.
Don't keep cats. Don't do common sense. That's not
right. Don't do anything to the animals. It's going to come back to their owners that love them like children. But
that's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 5, don't use the bathroom. And this is number 1 or number 2. Don't think, it's just number 1. It's fine. Yeah.
Any of them. Don't do it.
There's really no reason to. I mean, if you're in the burbs, tell me about it. I'll explain it from the city point of view. You can please explain it from the burbs. If you're in the city, most dormant building will have a lobby bathroom or something along those lines. There's plenty of Starbucks in the city where there's really no reason to have to use somebody's bathroom. How does it work in the burbs when you're driving around? Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that from our home, maybe 1/4 of a mile away is a Wawa, which is a big gas station, get coffee. 1/4 mile away. So that's in any radius around here, you can find a gas station, a nice place to use the facilities. There's no reason to have it done in the burbs. There's plenty of places. Yep. There's a Target, half a mile away. You can find somewhere to go.
And so if you're doing open houses back to back and you don't, quote unquote, don't have time, and that's why you have to use then you did a poor job planning out your open houses. You need to make more space in between.
Yes, you need to allow a little bit more time, plan for, and this is good research. You've talked about this in your book, is to find out what's in the neighborhood before you go do your homework. So maybe you want to go to one of these stores to say, well, what is a Wawa? Maybe I should go there, plan a bathroom lunch stop, and get to know the area.
Very good. Yes. Thank you. Check out the neighborhood. That's, I think, a whole chapter in my book, How to Buy Your Perfect First Home, Amazon bestseller. Check it out. Now, if you want to see, like for legitimate plumbing reasons, do these things flush? Is it a high-powered flush? That's legit. I mean, I think that makes sense. Just tell the person hosting the open house that's what you intend to do, so they don't think you're surreptitiously going to the bathroom.
Right. Now you're just pushing buttons, but
sneaking
and using the restroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes back to what you said originally. Just ask.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Number 6. Open house etiquette rule for home buyers. Don't bring food. Okay? I understand. I've done the open house circuit in the past. You've been on your feet, walking from here to there for 5 open houses in a row. That's probably at least 3 or 4 hours. I get it. You might be hungry. You got to just build in the time to do that. Eat on your own. Don't bring food to other people's homes.
Wait outside. Like you said, in the city, you have an area where you come in, there's a doorman. Stand out there, eat your granola bar. Use the restroom, and then come inside.
So the number 1 reason is you have no idea what the allergies are like in that house. You could be really putting somebody at risk in this day and age. There's some pretty severe allergies. I mean, let me think of what the allergies that I'm aware of. Obvious ones are like peanuts, nuts.
Yes. Yep.
But then you might have dairy, gluten, rice. There are a lot of allergies. Sesame. You might be just having a bagel, and you might be really endangering somebody. Just don't do it.
Right. And there are a lot of people that have allergies to that they don't have to necessarily come in contact with the product. It's airborne and they have a problem. It could be very severe. Yeah. So don't do it. Right.
That's the worst end of the spectrum. But on the more normal end, I mean, you could be leaving crumbs. You could potentially spill something. That's just kind of not polite.
No, it's really not when you have to come back and clean up spills after your open house.
Yeah. All right. Number 7, don't bring your entourage. And what I mean by that is, come with who are the decision makers, your spouse, maybe. If your, parents are helping you out, bring your parents, whatever. Don't bring your kids. Don't bring your pets. There's really no reason for that.
Do not ever bring your pets. I don't. Yeah. I don't know that I can think, maybe you could help me, of a situation where bringing a pet, and I'm not talking about like,
service animal.
A service animal. Yeah. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about, your dog, Harry, or something that comes with you. I don't see a need for that.
So I know folks, I know some people like really love their pets and want to make sure their pets also like the property.
Sure.
But
I mean, I
number
love
one,
my pet,
yeah.
but
going back to the allergy situation, you don't know.
yes.
So right now we're talking about open houses. If you make a subsequent appointment because you've to demonstrate serious interest, then you can ask ahead of time and maybe make an arrangement.
Correct.
But we're talking about open houses where you're going from house to house to house, right?
Right.
Yeah. There's allergies. Also,
and then you run it. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say you could run into the situation where after so many, we couldn't bring our cat. So you could have a cat somewhere in the house, what have you, and then you bring in a dog. Yep. Have you ever put a dog and a cat together in the same room?
Is it like the cartoons?
It totally is like the cartoon. It's a complete, screaming match, and they're friends, but then they're chasing each other, and they're up on the cabinets.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, don't do it.
So this leads me to 2 points about the pets or the entourage. You can end up causing an accident. What I mean by is like a kid knocking over a vase or a pet knocking over a drink. I mean, it's just a distraction. It's all a distraction. What are you there for, right? To play with your dog or to see if this is the right house, which is a huge investment for you? I mean, come on, focus.
The dog is not investing. The dogs are they will adapt. All animals, they adapt. As long as their human is there, they will figure it out. I just personally can't see a need to bring. Okay, kids is another thing. Sometimes we don't have a choice. You've got one in tow.
Try to avoid it.
Definitely try, but life sometimes doesn't let you, get away with not bringing your kids. But leave the dog.
Oh yeah, going back to kids, try not to change your diapers in their house, please.
Oh,
do it in the car, do it outside. I know it's tough being a parent of young kids. I've been there, Janice. You've been there, but
I've been there.
That's your problem, not the open house's problem.
Right? You don't want to be like, okay, thank you for having me. I'm going to put the dirty diaper in the trash.
Exactly.
Okay, you're absolutely right.
All right. What was your name again? Diaper lady? Just so I remember.
Yeah. Just can I tell them that because it's going to smell later, and your offer is not going through.
All right. So the last one.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
On the flip side, you had told a story once about a gentleman who did bring was it his son?
Yes.
And they wound up falling in love with the little son. He got the house, and so that was an accidental flip side story of that. But
that's a good point. And I think he was in diapers, so.
Maybe in some situations,
I was gonna say only do it.
Don't take the gamble.
I was gonna say only do it if your kid is super adorable, but everyone thinks their kid is super adorable.
Yeah, of course, mine are perfect and like they were beautiful as children. Oh goodness.
So, all right, the last one, the last open house etiquette tip for homebuyers: don't start negotiating at the open house. I think some people believe this is a way to, again, demonstrate their high level of interest. No, it's not the right forum. It's super awkward for everyone involved. Can you just imagine? Can you paint a picture for us, Janice?
Yeah. Well, so I can see both sides of this only because if it's your first time going through this process, you haven't read your book, you may not know that you're not supposed to start negotiating and talking all of this stuff right then and there. But it is going to make everyone else feel awkward if there's 10 other families in there, which is quite possible, and you're doing this negotiation and they're trying to look and ask questions, and it's just uncomfortable.
I mean, it's not the purpose of an open house is to show the marketplace the property, right?
Yes.
A negotiation can happen over the phone on private time. This is a time slot that has been set aside where the family has vacated, cleaned up. I mean, you are misusing what this venue is for.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. It's for you to just take a relaxed look around.
Mm-hmm. And if you're negotiating, right? I mean, this is sort of the nightmare scenario where you're aggressively negotiating. Like, well, your asking price is 10% too high because the backyard is actually not even that nice. You are basically talking down the house in front of all the other potential buyers.
In front of everyone else.
Yeah.
Right. Who may not have said, oh, I thought the backyard was pretty big. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to love you.
Oh, yeah. That's another one where the realtor will come back and say, okay, so number 4, his name is Sam, yet not going with him.
Right. Okay. So don't negotiate. Just leave that for another time. Right. I think that's it. So those are the open house etiquette rules. Just try to be Oh, gosh, I want to say try to be normal, but you know what? You're right. If you haven't done this before, you don't know what normal is, and that's kind of why we're talking about
No,
this.
okay, but that last one right there, you may not have known, but the rest of it, you should really. How about you some common sense?
Well, I looked at the
a lot
quote
of people
recently.
don't have that either.
Yeah, exactly. And just err to the side of caution. Let's put it that way.
There you go. That is the good one.
Just act like you're meeting the Queen of England or something. I don't know.
Yeah, just have some. Just put your game face on. Make good decisions. Yeah.
All right, cool. Janice, that's all I have. Anything else to add before we go?
No, I like this topic. That was a good one. I'm sure over time we'll even collect more stories, and maybe some of the listeners have their own interesting stories that they could share with us. I know.
Well, only if they've sold, because I don't know if people are going to volunteer their own atrocious behavior as a home buyers.
That's true. You could use the words allegedly or
I know a friend who
did this. I know a guy. Yeah.
Cool. All right. That's all for today. Thank you, Janice, and we'll talk to you all next time. Take care.
We'll talk soon.
Bye now.